Savannah School of Art and Design. And I think you can see why she got an A on that project. She did very well. That was her voice, by the way. She's the narrator. The young woman's voice, that was her. Well, obviously, we don't expect the world to end on December 21st, 2012. Not from a Maya Native American perspective. It's not what was planned by the Creator. If it happens, it's because we make it happen, because we are doing some pretty bad things here on the earth as human beings, but it's not something that was projected over thousands of years and foreseen by the Maya people. The end of this cycle is actually a transition time which is marked by December 21st, 2012, much in the same way as a landmark is placed on the road to mark a particular region or area. In that same way, the ancient Mayas pinpointed this era. It's an era covering about 40, 50 years, maybe even 200 years to be more exact. Maybe 100 years on one side of December 21st, 2012, and another 100 years on the other side. What is going on during that 200 years? It's a change. Mostly, it's happening here and here. Really, that is the core of the teaching. The change of the transition is actually an internal one in the minds, hearts, and souls of human beings on this planet that we live on this Mother Earth that we live on. And that's really what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So before we actually understand what the bottom line is on all that, I'm going to explain to you what the long count is. What is this count of days, and how do they come up with those numbers? 260 centuries, 5,200 years. How do we arrive at that math? And for that, I'm going to use these objects here. The very basis of all aspects of the Mayan calendar, the very fundamental unit of all aspects of the Mayan calendar is the unit that we call a day. The ancient Mayas and the Mayas in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico call it kin. It's also the name for the sun itself. So in that word, kin is encompassed the meaning of sun and the journey of the sun across the sky from east to west. Kin. So a kin then is grouped, and that's really the basis of all this, is grouping periods of time into larger and larger groups, and then dealing with microcosm versus macrocosm when you're dealing with them. So we got a group of these kins. Assume that each day is a little square. So each one of those little squares that you see there on that column is a day, a kin. By the way, the Mayas have different dialects. So what is a kin to the Mayas of Yucatan, to my friend Antonio, is a I. It's kind of like a different version of the same word. I, kin. I'm going to say it in the Quiche. The I are lined up in 2 rows of 10 to give you a total of 20. And that's one of the most important numbers in Maya numerology, 20. They counted in terms of 20s, very much like we count in terms of 10s. You know, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a 0. Those are our symbols. And we use those symbols all the time to express large numbers. Just whenever we get to the 9, if we want to go beyond the 9, we put a 0 in the units place, put a 1 in the tens place, and keep on going. And that's the number 10. 1 in the tens place, 0 in the units place. Well, the Maya, since they counted in terms of 20s, their units would continue on through 19. See? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then the next number is a 0 in the units place and a 1 in the 20s place. That's what's called the vigesimal system. It's a base 9 system. All right? They're not unique in that, by the way. That system has been used in Western culture. For many years, it was a lot more common before. It was the system that Abraham Lincoln used the day that he delivered the Gettysburg Address. When he started his address by saying, 407 years ago, he was thinking Maya. Because 4 score is 4 periods of time of 20 years each. A score is, this is a score. That's a score. 20. A group of 20 of whatever, whether it's days or years or centuries, a group of 20 is a score. So that's the way the Mayas think. They were thinking like Abraham Lincoln. 4 score. So in this case, this is a score. They called it a winal. There's a very important reason why they call it winal. The word unique in most Maya languages means person, human being. And the reason they associated the number 20 with a human being, is anybody getting, why would 20 be associated with a complete human? You think? Well, that's a good one. That's a good, I'm going to get to that. I will get to that, yeah.
Fingers and toes. Fingers and toes.
That's it. It's very, very simple. It's about fingers and toes. About fingers and toes. A complete human has 10 fingers and 10 toes. So, unique. This is a winal named after you, Winiks. You are all Winiks, people. Okay? A winal is a period of 20 days. Anthropologists and scholars call it the Maya month. I don't like that word because a month is a 30-day period. You know? This is not a month. This is a period of 20 days. Okay? So a period of 20 days, a winal. So what they did is they would take the winal and group it into groups of 20. 20 winal, I'm sorry, not 20. 18. Group of 18. Why did they pick 18? The reason they picked 18 is because it gives you a number of 360 days. 360 kings. And 360 kings comes awfully close to a real year. It isn't a real year, of course. As you all know, a real year has 365 days. But 360 is close enough for government work, so that's what we're going to go. 360, nice round number, 18 winals. It's a period of time called a tune. And the tune is what they based all of these long periods of time on. Tunes are their near years. That's my name. That's my word for it. Near year. I came up with that. This is a near year. 360 days, close to 365, but not quite. Missed it by 5. Right? And they grouped these into 20. 20 tunes to make something called a cartoon. Here they are. 20. Don't fall there, you knows. I can't be dropping days. 20 tunes grouped together into a period of time called a cartoon. A cartoon. Okay? You take these cartoons and you grab a whole bunch of them. How many? Yeah, you guessed it.